Hey beauties, it's Nikea here with another mom life vlog. So as you can see by the title, we are here to talk about every parent, I don't know, it's not our favorite topic. You loathe this thing. I promise you all, when Harper was born, I was like, she is not gonna have a phone, she's not gonna have a tablet, she's not gonna be watching all this TV, she's not gonna be doing this. It's funny when you look back on the things that you say you're not gonna do, and then when life gets thrown at you, you do those things. So we're talking about screen time. So of course, when Harper was really small, she didn't watch TV shows and she didn't really have an opinion about what she wanted to watch. When she got a little older, like 1 year old, 18 months, she became a little more vocal. She liked Trolls. That was something that she watched, and there really weren't TV shows that she watched, and we could kind of watch things on TV that we liked, and we didn't have to worry about Harper like picking up on those things. And it wasn't until she got older, we were watching one show that had some cursing in it, and Harper repeated one of the curse words. So we were like, okay, we can't watch what we want to watch around Harper. So I think that kind of shifted how much screen time she had, because on TV we just had to be mindful of what we watch. So we would watch kid movies and family movies and family TV shows, and now that she's 2 going on 2.5, she's more vocal about what she wants to watch, and sometimes she'll even get upset when we want to watch something. Like we'll watch things like The Voice because you know that's appropriate, and there's this show on ABC that we watch called A Million Little Things. We can watch that. We don't have to worry about her, you know, repeating things. But, you know, certain shows on Netflix and movies, you know, stuff like Orange is the New Black that we love to watch. I like to watch Santa Clarita Diet. It's just different things, you know, just with the adult content that, you know, that we don't want to expose her to at this young age. So that is why Harper's TV screen time has increased since she was younger. But I will honestly say that most of the time Harper is not watching the TV. She just likes to have it on, and then she's doing a whole bunch of other things. Like she's like playing, or she's eating and she's doing other stuff, and she just likes to have it as background noise because I'm like, it's on right now, and she's not even watching it. She's back here with me trying to record. But Harper does not watch a lot of TV by herself. So even though the TV may be on something that she wants to watch, she's not watching a lot of it by herself, and it's more of background noise. Another screen time is of course the iPad and my cell phone. These things do not belong to Harper. This is my iPad. It is mine, as you can see. It has no case on it. It belongs to me.
That's me.
That is you.
My Harper.
And this is my cell phone. Harper does not have her own electronics whatsoever. Her screen time on the mobile devices increased a lot because my family FaceTimes, and everybody has, you know, iPhones, so that's how they communicate. Even from just like a small age, and nobody lives close to us, so that's the only way that she'll be able to see them in this modern world. So she, from a young age, was exposed to the cell phone because, you know, grandmothers would call, grandfathers, cousins, uncle, aunt would call, and that's how they would see her, and that's how she would communicate with them. I did start to cut it off at a certain time. Like, okay, it's mainly my mom. She's like, okay, Mom, don't call Harper after this time because, you know, it's time for her to get ready to bed. So if you want to say goodnight to her, you know, call before this time. And we did our best not to let her have the phone by herself. Like, she would have to be sitting with us, talking to them, and not going off on her own. Of course, that could not be enforced all the time. So there were instances where she had the phone or walked off with it by herself, and when the call ended, she would, you know, just be on the phone trying to explore, things like that. And then I don't even know how Harper discovered YouTube. I have no idea. I don't know where that came from, but she does have her own YouTube account. But that's only because before she was born, I created a Gmail account so that she would have, you know, an appropriate email. She wouldn't have to be like Pookie Baby 123. and I send pictures to that account, and as she gets older, I'm gonna scan some of her schoolwork and her achievements and stuff like that and send that to her and give her the password when she gets older, so she'll already have an email account set up and she can have those memories stored for her. The older Harper got, the more she likes to be on the phone. When she wants to watch YouTube, she'll say video. At first, we would put videos on TV because we have a smart TV, so we would let her watch YouTube that way. Of course, we monitor what she watches, and you know, when suggestions come up and things in the timeline, I even go through and like clear some of those off, because it's not YouTube Kids, it's just YouTube. But she stays on kid channels. I ensure that, and I try to limit her to like 30 minutes to an hour, which both of those are just absolutely too long. But sometimes she just starts like crying, and I feel like that's the only way to remedy her issue. But then I just put my foot down. I'm just like, Harper, you're just gonna cry, you're gonna be upset, you need to go play with a toy, you need to go read a book. But I do try to monitor her screen time with the phone and the iPad, and I do try to limit that amount of time. The iPad is like a reward. It is not something that she gets all the time. I will say that she's on electronics, or has more screen time when her dad is out of town, because he travels for his job, and then I'm here by myself, and I'm trying to like multitask and get stuff done, and I don't have any help. So you know, once I get home, it's just me and Harper. So I do use that as a way to sit her down and keep her in one spot while I'm trying to do something. You know, right now she's over there on the couch playing with her toes. And I know recently, like I said, her dad goes out of town, so one time I had to take her to church by myself twice, and they didn't have the Imagine Kingdom open, so Harper had to sit in service with me. And usually Harper likes to be held in service. Well, Harper is 30+ pounds now, and I can't hold her, so I did give her the iPad as a way to keep her distracted in church. But I did turn on guided access on the iPad, so I would pick a particular app, and then I would just triple click right here. So this is one of the apps I let her use. Shout out to my friend Jazz. Oh, it's talking. So in church it was on silent, but shout out to my friend Jazz, who told me about Endless Reader and Endless Learning. These apps are great because they're educational, you know, since she is on screen time. So what I did is I triple click. So it's a quick triple click, and then guided access, and it'll tell you what parts of the screen you want to limit. So I've already set the area, and there's parts of the screen you can limit where they can't touch. But guided access basically locks her into that app, and she can only go into that app. So if she presses the home screen, she would have to enter a passcode to go into something else. So in that way it is restricted. And I do the same thing on my phone sometimes. If I do let her use my phone, she can have it, but she's limited to a certain app, and of course it is a certain amount of time. So her father has mentioned that once she gets older, and I'm assuming when she turns 3, that he wants to cut back on the amount of time that she spends on the electronics. So that is why I'm going to start implementing, like I mentioned in a previous mom vlog, implementing more structured educational time and really being strict on when she's using the tablet. And I have to do better myself of saying, like, get a book, Harper, or get a puzzle, or get a toy when she wants to get on the electronics or wants to have something to do. And the weather is getting warmer now, so we can go outside and do things like that. And my schedule is going to get more structured, so I can definitely designate time for her to do certain things. So I just made this mom life vlog to let moms know that, moms, parents in general, that however you choose to expose your child to electronics or not expose them, that is your choice. You have to find out what works best for you and your family. I know people who have tablets specifically for their 2-year-old. It has a little case on it, their child can access it, they can use it, you know, that is theirs. You know, it is made specifically for them. For other people, that may not work. So we are just navigating and trying to find out what works best for us and what works best for Harper. So when she is on electronics, it is educational. She has educational apps that she can access, and even on YouTube, even though she's watching people unwrap toys, they do incorporate learning in there with colors and numbers and shapes, so I don't feel super duper bad about it. Sometimes I do feel like she's on it too much, but for me, I just don't want it to get to the point where we're in the house and I'm just like, Harper's on her tablet, I'm on my phone, her dad's on his laptop. You know, I don't want it to be that type of situation. It is a good resource and a good tool, but I don't want it to be her only method of learning and her only method of interaction and engagement. There are even sometimes when I come home with Harper and we don't even turn the TV on. You know, I sit there and read a book, and I've even gotten better with not being on my phone as much. And there are times when I'm reading my book and I'll tell Harper to go get a book and she's sitting there reading her book. Like I said, you just have to find out what works for you, what works best for your child and your family, and you have to navigate through that. And don't let people make you feel bad because your child has an electronic or your child is on the phone. What works best for you works best for you. You can't allow people to shame you. And if you say that your child can have an electronic and your family comes around and they want to give your child their electronic, you just have to be strict. If you have somebody watch your child and they want to give your child an electronic, you have to let them know, hey, this is what I want them to do. Please don't let them be on electronic for this amount, for longer than this amount of time. I know when people watch Harper, what I try to do is like bring a bag of like toys and books and things that she can play with, especially if they don't have kids, so that she can stay engaged and so that they don't have to resort to, oh, here's a tablet, I'm just gonna sit you over here. You know, I appreciate people watching Harper. You know, I just don't want her on electronics that much. Sometimes I do get to my wits end and I'm like, ugh. And her dad is more of a strict one on, she needs to get off that tablet like it's a drug. But, you know, I'm sure we will discuss it and come to some sort of compromise agreement and some sort of semblance of something that's going to work out for us as it pertains to Harper and electronics. So we are in a technological world. I have a phone, I have electronics, so I can't necessarily say my child is never going to touch those things. I can't do that. I'm on YouTube, I have a laptop, I do all these things with technology. So I do want her to learn about them, be engaged with them, understand them, and use them effectively, but I just don't want her to become obsessed with them and that be her only way of learning, engaging, and interacting, as I mentioned before. So I think I said all that I wanted to say. So this is just for me to share with you all. You know, Harper does watch TV, but we do our best to monitor it and we know what shows she's watching. She does use a phone and she does use an iPad for FaceTime. She does get on YouTube, and I have some educational apps that she uses. So it's called Endless Reader, Endless 123, and Endless Learning. So with Endless Reader, it's just familiarizing her with words and she can actually move the letters into the correct spot. Endless Numbers has to do with, or Endless 123 has to do with math. And Endless Learning is like a combination of all those things. There are free apps that you can download onto your electronic device, and there's also paid content that you can get. I figure for right now I'll just keep it at the free stuff, and then as Harper gets older, then we can see, okay, what can we take it up to, because once again, don't want the tablet to be her only way of learning. And also, I had a free trial of ABC Mouse, which I really liked, and Harper really loved ABC Mouse, and I think that would be beneficial. Yeah, and I think that would be beneficial for her as she gets in school and starts learning things, kind of to be a supplement. So I didn't buy it. I think I may buy the subscription when she gets older, because I think that would be something good for her, because there's so much in that app. There's so much, and I think it's a really good educational tool. But I just wanted to share with y'all, again, my experiences with raising a child and using electronics and how we're going to go about doing that. And just to let you know that you got to do what's best for you and your family. But that is it for today, beauties. Thank you so much for watching. But before you go, make sure you go down below, click that subscribe button, and right next to that, click that bell notification button so that you never miss when I post. Like I always say, it's free, it's easy, and it's fun. Again, thank you so much for watching, beauties, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.